So I have worked for almost 12 years so far, and most of my experience is into content writing. And I've been working for MNCs in India and overseas for almost, 10, 11, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Soon after my graduation, which was in BSc Biotechnology from JGI Bangalore,
Mm-hmm.
I went on to pursue this MBA in International Business from MET Business School, Noida.
Okay.
Yeah, and post which I joined DMAT Raipur, as this being my hometown. So I joined DMAT Raipur as HR, and I worked there for almost 1.5 years. And then I got into writing, content writing. And ever since then, I think I've been working. I must have, I've done more than 20 lakh words till date. I've written more than 20 lakh words till date, and I've written almost in every possible domain, be it finance, business, management, healthcare, spirituality, well-being, mental health, IT, marketing, cross-cultural management, nursing, healthcare, everything. Other than hardcore technical IT stuff, where you talk about certain programming and hardware and stuff like that, because I don't have a background in that. And um and I have done all kinds of writing, from academic writing to blog writing to article writing to SEO writing to social media writing to doing memes and anything that the client asks for. I have also worked for various academic institutes and educational firms, wherein I have designed content for competitives, for students who are engaged in higher studies in India and overseas. And I have written a couple of books, ghost written a couple of books for my clients, which is in finance domain. And I'm currently writing a book for on how to reduce weight using your mental power. That's another thing that I'm doing currently. And apart from that, I've done my own books. So I've written books on the biogeographical diversity, for children aged between 6 to 12 years. And the idea behind is, to educate the kids around the different fauna and flora across the world. So, for instance, I've written a book on Rainbow River, which is a river which exists in Colombia in real. So, my book goes on to explaining why that river looks like the way it does, and how things and environment works in that particular area. So, and I always, weave a fictional story, but I bring in facts to educate kids, because I believe they need to read real stuff rather than, imaginary, fancy stuff that they are made to read. And that's it. I've been freelancing for most of my career because I think that works the best for me. I have recently relocated to Raipur about 4 years back. Prior to that, I was in Hyderabad. So while in Hyderabad also, I was freelancing with MNCs there, which I have a long association with them for almost about 8 years now. And I love this setup. I mean, this is how I work.
So your answer gives me a question to ask on the very first point. You've been a
Yeah,
freelancer, right?
yeah,
Freelancers are like birds, you know. They have wings which are giant, and wherever they feel like they just fly, you know. Like if I go to the range of the content you've been dealing with, or the kind of topics you were telling, you know, uh, it is having psychology, it is having psychology for children, it is having, you know, wellness, it is having professional, articles, it is having a lot of things you have done, right? So you have a, you have been into system where your wings have been very powerful to make you fly wherever you feel like, and wherever you want to go, want to reach, want to write, no obligations, nothing. A deadline comes and you start working in night hours, in VRs, in whatever hours you feel like most comfortable, you write, you finish, and you're most satisfied being on the planet, right? As you've been
yeah.
constantly telling that I'm very happy with the setup which I work with. I would appreciate being a lady, you could manage wonderfully your career, your home and everything, and you are telling still that I'm very satisfied working this manner, right?
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
brings you to the full-time assignment? Because if we are talking and interacting today, the main agenda behind that is that we want to have a full-time content developer and writer who will be operating from the university campus, which is like 40-45 kilometers away from the town, and who is going to be with us since morning till evening, so that we can make ourselves visible through words, globally, more impactfully. So are you open for that as well? Like, will you be able to come out of your comfort zone and, go in the morning, board the bus, come back in the evening? Are you ready for that?
So, prior to meeting you, I already had a word with your HR, Shivangi,
Okay.
and we discussed commercials and the requirements of the job before meeting you.
Hmm.
And then I was not happy with the commercials offered for full-time job. That is something I look at as being offered to a fresher. So when
Hmm.
I expressed that to her, she got in touch with the management. Apparently, she must have spoken to you, and then she confirmed that management is open to hiring you as a freelancer or a full timer, whichever comes your, I mean, whichever you're okay with. So I don't have any reservations in joining full time, provided I'm compensated accordingly as per the industry standards and what I deserve. And other than that, if not, then no, it's not going to make any sense. Having said that, yes, I'm open to full time assignments as well. Even when I'm working as a freelancer, I'm working end to end from morning till night. Though I've had a couple of clients, wherein I had started working at 9 in the morning and I had logged out only at 6 in the evening. And I say freelancing is a good setup, but that doesn't mean that I don't have commitments and I don't honor my commitments. Freelancing also involve contract based jobs wherein I sign a contract with my employer, and I'm required to show up and deliver based on the terms mentioned in the contract. So which is why I have sustained for so long as a freelancer. And I have had associations for almost now 7-8 years where I have been able to maintain my clients only because they have seen that kind of work coming their way. So
We,
it's not about I can fly away anywhere, because if it I have committed to
flying is something which is, this term should not be taken in a manner which you're taking. Flying is something, people are more open to learn, adapt, experiment, and come out with the best possible outputs. For that, you would be needing more time. If you're picking up some topic which goes unconventional, for which you have not been doing any work so far, you will start researching and developing the content. So you
right.
will be utilizing right amount of a time to deliver that particular project. So the wings, that means you're the most privileged people who have got this, opportunity to experiment with the newest topics, and you are the ones who break all sort of monotony. You're getting my point. So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
wings means, that's why when we meet somebody who says I've been freelancing for quite a long period, we
yeah,
always understand the gamut, the range, the plethora of work is going to be put on the platter, that will be of, no connect, not south kind of things, lot of work, because you have a lot of zeal to grab, learn, deliver. That's how I say you people are born with, wings and
okay,
best content. So don't take it in another manner.
yeah,
Flying
yeah,
doesn't mean you fly off from the project. I know that nobody does these days. People are professional enough to take up assignments and this mode also. Okay,
yeah.
when we talk about the content, what do you feel that what are the components of any ideal content? How do you design any content? What do you feel? Suppose I give you a topic. Suppose I say that, like you said, wellness. So I'll say, Devishi ji, there's a school of wellness which we are going to be launching.
I'm sorry, my name is Nitishri. That's my daughter's
That's
name because
why.
she attends online classes. So
That's how I got confused when we started. I was looking at the profile and I was checking the name, and I said
okay.
Shivangi has shared some other profile and the person is logged in with somebody else.
Oh, so I'm so
Okay,
sorry. Yeah.
no, that's fine. So you tell me that if suppose I say that we are going to be we are going to be opening our wellness school from this July batch, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
we want you to pitch up few good articles, right? To grab attention of the people that we are there in the wellness industry as well, and we are newbies, but we are the proven brand in the field of media
Mm-hmm.
and arts. So because we are the proven brand, you have all the chances, to believe on us and opt for wellness course. So
Right,
what do you feel that how would you design the content for that school of wellness, and what are going to be the components of the content that you'll be designing?
right.
Because the way you answer my next question is going to be coming out of that only.
Okay, sure. So, first of all, I'll be looking at the most researched keywords which are related to wellness, right? Because no
Okay.
matter whatever I write, if I don't get traffic, if I don't get people to read that article or write up, it makes no sense. So, first of all, the approach would be, to find out the right set of keywords which
And
will target the wellness industry.
okay.
And then I'll be like, for instance, as I'm writing on wellness, the most researched keywords are depression, insomnia, obesity, and yeah, these three, so more or less these three keywords. So I will design the content around these three keywords. But if you want to establish yourself as as an expert in this field, you need to make
Mm.
sure that you need to have depth in your content, which means there has to have a lot of technical stuff. Like if I say obesity, everyone knows what is obesity and how do you deal with it. But you need to give them something which they don't know, like linking obesity with the mindset people have these days. For instance, there's this COVID pandemic, right? So people are extremely scared of what is going to happen in future and how to protect their family, themselves, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stress and negative energy. So I'll be linking, I'll be linking the current circumstances, the current the parameters that is driving the environment currently with your physical dimensions of health, obesity. So, and other than that, a good content must always have a lot of scientific researches to prove what you're
Mm.
stating. So that comes when you mention the right references, say the scientific journals like American Journal of Medicine, or the most reputed journal, which is the Journal of England, New Science Journal of England. So mentioning the most latest researches, there are researches which define how just a mere thought can impact the chemistry of the body. So drawing references from those sites, the latest researches, because that is something people would love to look at. Otherwise everyone knows how wellness works and what are the parameters, how to go about it.
This is what you explained as the journey of the article as a final
Yeah.
product, which is ready to launch on online platform,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now we are talking about wellness as a product, as our product, which
Mm-hmm.
will be coming, and we'll be offering courses in the field of wellness. So definitely, now here comes the next question: that how do you differentiate between a blog and an article? You know,
Yeah.
uh, there is significant difference because you are a writer. You would be able to explain it in a better manner as compared to in comparison to me,
Right.
because what you said or explained right now, you are talking about the stakeholders or the target audience who are normally surfing in late hours, who are having symptomatically few things or disturbing things, or then they are finding out the depressions and COVID and obesity and COVID, because most of the times we are at home. Now a student who is, as an outcome to COVID, understood recently that see, mental wellness could one of the possible programs if I take up, right?
Right. Right.
Tomorrow I might have a beautiful career as a nutritionist or as a medical counselor or as a
Absolutely.
wellness counselor. So the,
Yeah.
my content is gonna be totally very much different, right? There you need to be having some idea related to again, what are the courses that are going to be delivered under a
Yes.
said
Yes.
program.
Yes. Career
Suppose
streams and options,
exactly.
and the scope of career ahead.
Hmm.
What kind of career options? What is going to be the pay scale? Who do you get
Exactly.
hired by soon after
Exactly.
clearing? And what is the edge you get above others when you take up this course?
Now,
So
what you are saying is perfectly right. What you're saying, right? These are the
yeah.
things which are expected. Now,
Yeah.
this would do one counter effect in your article.
Yeah.
What is that counter effect? You're going to be discussing about we offer bachelors, we offer masters, we offer PG diploma, we offer diploma. These are people who are the most renowned recruiters in the industry, and these are pay packages, all those things you have written.
Right.
Now there is a gentry, there is a target traffic that is not going to be hitting this article. Which what do you think, who all are going to be the ones who are not going to be touching this article? You feel the scope is going to be very limited, as only the students who are aspirants looking for admissions into colleges are going to be hitting this article. Now the mothers who you know who are at home, and now the children are grown up, they have some time to manage their
Mhm.
education,
Mhm.
and they are looking for options for this. They probably will not hit, because they will hit the article that you were explaining me before, that sort of article. So
No,
कहने का मतलब,
you need to have a blog as well. The first
hmm,
article that I had discussed with you, that has to be there
that
in
was
your
blog,
blog.
yes.
Yeah, and this will be your target group ka article, which is going to be,
Hmm.
written in a professional tone, very straightforward, targeted
Hmm.
at your student crowd and stuff. But one I was talking is going to subtly
General.
influence, yeah, your prospective clients who you don't target, but they can fall for you just because
Exactly.
reading your, you have that knowledge and you have that technicalities with you, which is why you've written about it.
Of course.
So any business these days is done with both articles
Both.
together, both things together.
That is
So which
blog
is
and the
why,
article.
yeah, that is
Okay.
right.
You mentioned a word tone. How do we decide the tone of an article? Suppose you're writing about AAFT. What should be the tone? What should be the tone of this particular article? Because this is a very relevant word whenever we talk about content writers. What should be the tone of the article? What should be the tone? Or it's a buzzword. So what is this tone of the article? What exactly it reflects?
Yeah, tone is, you have to start, the basic of writing is the very first few lines that you write in an article should have the right tone, to grab the reader's interest.
Mm.
So first is when you have a virtual footfall on your article, that itself is a challenge. When you mean, through digital marketing and through your branding and all, you manage to get some footfalls. But the major challenge is retaining the virtual customer there so that
Ah,
he ends up reading what you've written. Right.
correct.
So any article needs to start with the right tone. You need to grab instantly what the reader is looking for. That should come in the very first few lines, because nobody has patience. They don't have time. They'll be very, quick in moving to some other website, anything popping up as an advertisement or any competitor's site that they get attracted to. So the tone is set by having the right customer in mind, who your target audience is, right? And why are
Exactly.
they here? You need to know these two things. And for any writer, if these two things are answered, then the article will always have the right tone, you know. So that is very, very important. The first few lines, and tone also ensures that the reader's interest is mentioned. Your article should have some very great grave concerns for which the reader comes, and the grave concern should also be answered satisfactorily by any way, whichever way you're targeting, depending on the content, depending on the target audience. So that is what tone is all about.
So, in that sense, can I just understand it in a manner that if you're writing something for AAFT, so you would definitely
What
be
is AAFT, if you don't mind me
it's
asking?
Asian Academy of Film and Television, for which you are getting interviewed, madam.
Okay, okay,
It's AFT, University of Media and Arts. So,
okay.
if you're writing something, so I think that first few lines are going to be, if you're talking specifically about the tone of the article, you would be
Yeah.
dedicating first couple of lines to the brand, I believe. Like you would be projecting the brand, right?
Not necessarily, not in every writer, because that is something my website would be doing, right? Your website
Okay.
would be projecting the brand as it is. So people would anyways read your website and then come on to reading something more if they like you. So
And
if my,
what if it happens vice versa, because your article was so interesting that people started, diverting to the website or were wonderfully written. So let's just see what this website, because it is vice versa. It is never
yeah,
like
but my
this one.
write up, my blog will never start with AAFT,
Hmm.
because people don't know what AAFT is, and why will they invest their time in knowing something which they don't know, they are not eager about. So I have to grab their interest by something which they want to learn about, the,
Okay.
yeah, I'll have to come to the subject straight away. And then, while ending my write up, I can mention that to know more you can visit this website
Uh,
or this institute, which
that's
also,
what I said. It is never like from the website to the blog. It happens that people read blog and feel that wonderfully written.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just go back to the
Yeah,
website and
which is
see.
why blogging is so popular and is
Exactly.
sustaining. So, but the blog has to start right from the subject. I cannot talk
Hmm.
about your institute in a blog. Nobody will
How
read.
important is plagiarism? I mean, how important is plagiarism? What are the norms when we come into the content? Because if we talk about the research part, if as a researcher, if I go for writing a research article, I very well knows that 7 consecutive lines I cannot be picking up from any of the pre-published article, because
Yes,
otherwise I'm gonna
yes.
be coming into plagiarism. Or
Yeah.
else, if I'm writing a research paper, then below 10% of the plagiarized material, I think my research becomes more credible and relevant, and the chance of it getting published into international journal becomes, it multiplies. So when it comes to blogging, when it comes to content writing, is there any set norm which you follow? Is there any something that people from the world of content writers, they are very religiously following that, like we say, as a researcher, we say, if you don't share the credit, or you don't put references in your text, then it is nothing as good as or as bad as stealing the content, right? You getting my point? If I'm writing a
Mm-hmm.
research paper, I
Mm-hmm.
say that 1 plus 1 equals to 2.
Right.
It's not being given by me, proven by me. It was some scientist back in
And
Australia
you're not
proved.
mentioning the
Exactly.
reference.
I'm stealing the work, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So,
100%.
are there any set norms for the content writing as well? Because it's huge. Content writing world is huge, and all of the writers are referring to that mega database where, first 10 links. If you'll see, if you write anything, first 10 links, they come into first 10 because they're getting most hits, right? So
Yeah.
how do you
So
decide?
yeah, which is why writing is an art and a skill which
Hmm.
needs to be built. Otherwise, everyone has learnt English during their schooling. Everyone can write, right? So it's not about being able to write in English, but it's
Hmm.
about getting those nuances, to deliver something that has already been published and not getting caught in that plagiarism software. So
Hmm.
that's where the skill comes into play. So plagiarism is strictly, that's the norm that has to be strictly followed, because if you are delivering plagiarized material, then you are at a double loss. One is that you are staking your brand, and second is that your article will anyways not survive, because Google is very very strict about its white hat policies. So Google will not let your article survive in the domain for too long, right? So
Are you using any software for that?
yeah, I do use Grammarly to check plagiarism, but till date, none of my articles, not even a single article, has been plagiarized.
No, of
That's
course.
my skill.
That was not the question. The
Yeah.
question was
No, no,
again,
I know, I know. So,
because see, what we used to do is we used to have a Viper installed in our system always, and whenever we used to write, because technical articles, if you write, me being an engineer, you can't come out with some new Newton's law cannot be recreated. Newton was
absolutely,
somebody has done it,
absolutely, absolutely.
right? So you always should be having, and it happens that people in a limited domain, when we are working, they do repeat lines. So it's better you have a software with you, and that keeps telling you that screen out, screen out, screen out, getting repeated. So that's why I was asking that, do
No,
you
no,
follow
there is a
something?
way of dealing with it. Actually, it's not that the same content, no matter it has been published lack of times, you can still
Hmm.
redo it without
Exactly.
losing the essence of it. So,
Authenticity and all.
yeah, 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 yeah. It can be made as impressive, as it was done the very first time. So that's where the skill comes into play.
Now comes the last question of mine. Which software are you using for identification of your keyword? Because that plays the most vital role, no matter how.
I don't use any software. Yeah, yeah, because all the softwares, all the keywords are given to me by the clients.
Okay,
They,
okay,
yeah, they give me their own keywords, because I have clients from all different domains, and they understand their industry better than me, because they deal with it 24/7.
okay.
So they come up with keywords, and they give me their content requirements, that they want, say, 10 blogs revolving around these particular set of keywords, or say as X number of articles or Y number of blogs or some web content or social media content. And I end up designing once the requirements are sent to me. So as it is, I don't use any keywords. For my personal write-up, I usually use Google ad keyword, or I used Uber quite a few
Uber,
times.
Uber. I
Yeah,
was waiting for that,
yeah, yeah.
because until you know the strength of that keyword, I think
Yeah,
that
yeah. I mean,
becomes
I've
very,
used it for my own personal thing, because I also do my own writers, but usually I'm provided with the keywords.
that makes it more sorted. Um, um, if I'm writing something, and the same topic has to be floated in every platform. This is not. I would say that not that healthy idea. Reason being, if I write something, suppose there is an event, I'm giving an example. If there is an event that is happening in the university and I want you to publicize the event somewhere, right?
Right.
If you're writing for Insta handles, gonna be very different. The
Yeah, yeah,
people are not dealing with serious business. If I'm
absolutely.
writing something for my LinkedIn, the people are too serious about whatever is getting posted over there.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
serious people are connecting. And then again, it's if it is going to Facebook, it's altogether a different kind of a commercialization over there.
Yeah.
So same topic, right? Same event. Are you able to bifurcate distinct in a distinctive manner that same topic, same event is written by you only, and all the different
Yeah.
platforms are getting it in a very different flavor, and still you are
Yeah.
making that can be
Yeah.
done
That can be done. There's no
with an
problem.
ease, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because again, I say that the article and blog, they're very different to each other, right? Do you believe on this or not?
Not very different. They are slightly different. One is article. You asked me this question. I couldn't answer it. We moved on to the next question, so I'll
Tell me.
answer it now. Article has got a lot of straightforward, or I would say,
Ha.
it has got a straightforward approach with a very crisp tone. But blogging is more, connecting or more on a personal level. So you take the reader along with you. So there's more of personalized pronouns that are used, which are first person pronouns that we use in a blog. But if I'm writing an article, my article will have a very, very formal tone wherein I'll be writing as a third person. I'm a
Exactly.
third person. I have found something and I want to share it with you, which is why this article is being written. But when it comes to blogging, I want to influence you with something which I find very, very useful as a business owner, as AAFT, right? So I will have that personal connect. I would try and establish that personal connect with you as a reader because I want you to come back and have that connect with me. And articles will always talk about they can be lengthy, but I think they are very to the point, subject based, wherein blogging can have personal references, it can have personal testimonials, it can have experiences shared on a personal level, say a student of mine or ex student of mine or a colleague of mine or so and so faculty from so and so institute. I can share those references at a personal level in a blog. But in an article I will only give references which are acceptable on a formal platform.
You've answered my question very well, and you have actually validated my beginning, the beginning of the question, that they're very different, and all your points are highly indicating that they are very different.
Yeah.
Because article would never have a personal touch. It would be
Yes.
highly validated based upon the history, research, data,
Yes.
quantifications. It is altogether a very different thing. And
Yes.
blogs have a personal touch, like you said.
Yes.
It was great interacting with you, and lot of exchange of thoughts and all. I was
Same here.
looking
Thank
forward.
you.
Thank you so very much. And very soon we're going to be coming back to you, and
Sure.
we'll take it further. Thank you so much, Nitishri ji.
Sure.
It was
Thank you.
wonderful interacting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shikha. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. So you are trying to say that if the topic comes to you, then based upon the clients in the area they're operating and the topic that they are giving you, that decides the target audience will be reading. So I as your client, I'll give you a case that we are soon going to be starting our School of Digital Marketing from July, and we are launching the new courses in the field of digital marketing. And in the month of January, you should start propagating the idea across the web. So, what do you think? What kind of article you would begin with? How will you attract traffic to the article that you written and uploaded?
Okay. So the best thing about digital marketing is that like absolutely anybody hailing from any stream or field would be interested in digital marketing because it's like this new thing that you can't survive without in the business era without having a digital experience. So I would be majorly going for people who are underexperienced or who are still trying to get a hold of their business or their own brand over the digital space. So I would say that, yeah, younger population. And the older population, I would be going for people who have a business but which is pretty dormant regarding the digital space. So I would be aiming for them as well. So my tone would decide the tone would decide which audience gets to get what from what article. and the topics would be, of course, segregated according to why. Suppose that if you're writing blogs about these things, and you said that we have to get it across the web, so we will segregate the topics according to that, according to the demography that each blog would be targeted towards some certain audience. Like if we want that, what should mass media graduates look for, career options for mass media graduates after graduation, or BJMC. And then we would be writing 5 options for them, and we will be soft selling digital marketing in all of them, providing our backlinks to our courses that we'll be offering from our, right.
Mhm.
And then for suppose that e-commerce is that people who are trying to self-learn themselves onto their websites, some specific people like a doctor, or some retail seller who's trying to get across the web, will be segregating their topic differently, and then will be saying that you can self teach yourself. You can garner the experience from here, you can get a certificate, then you can actually learn how to get online, do your own research, and conduct a full-fledged marketing of your products and sell over Instagram and social media. And then again we'll be providing backlinks there as well.
Yes.
So target, yeah.
Yes, you're saying that social media, Instagram, you know, do you agree with if I say that the target audience in
Mhm.
all the platforms have a different flavor, and they deal with the data in very different mindset, and the reactions are also altogether very different. So if I want to sell a product of digital marketing, suppose bachelor's in digital marketing, and if I'm writing something in an Insta, the style and tone has to be a little different. In the same way, if I'm writing for LinkedIn's, it has to be different, and for Facebook it'll be different. So
Yeah.
you know, all kind of audience are different. Like if you ask me, I am always on LinkedIn, I'm not on Insta. So
Right.
I would be interested in a very serious article that talks about the about the product, the selling of the product, about the reach of the product, about the after completion of this course, where will I
I
land
have
up with.
something about that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I have to say something about that.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So like you said, across the different social media platforms, there would be different audience for different
Hello.
yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So how to approach the demography there over the LinkedIn and over the Instagram? I would be totally going, like, I'm just giving a like fresh example of what the trend is going there. So in LinkedIn, I would be doing the same thing. I'll be approaching the people with greater connections, getting them to vouch for us, advocate for us, or even
Mm.
if they don't, we or like, of course, you have a college, and this there are people like a lot of people who are already doing freelancing, like Asta Jha, like I said, of course, so they can advocate for it. And LinkedIn is a safe space for that. LinkedIn people buy when the connections are advocating things. Over Facebook, the same thing. I wouldn't go for the vertical videos on the Facebook. I would go for some uh, targeted, highly targeted meme, because Facebook, what it does is it narrows down the target audience like quite specifically. So for that, whatever campaign we are launching, suppose that we are launching for a certain segment of people, because it's going to be paid promotion, so I'll be writing content according to them. I wouldn't be making it very high five. I can just go with the normal meme if it's going to be just for college graduates.
Okay,
So yeah,
so
that
can I conclude it in a manner that everywhere the content is going to be tweaked according to the target audience for hitting the
hmm,
portal and increasing the traffic,
yeah,
right?
and their mood, yeah.
Of course, it is not going to be a copy kind of a thing that I have written an article. I would just change a little bit of mood of the article and would float it into different platforms. That will not be the case, right? You'll okay.
No.
How do you decide how to pick up a topic? Or I would further refine this question. How do you decide on the keywords? Do you use any software for that?
I use normal key. The basic, most basic thing is that keyword.io. Yeah, it's quite bookmarked in my work, and I use it for the keyword research. basically.
How do
It
you
provides
decide the
like,
strength?
yeah,
How?
and then I go to SEMCORP for the strength thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what are the different types of content writings that because blogs are different, articles are different, then SEO writing is totally different. What your I would say confidence and competency level is with what how Nikhil decides or defines as a content writer himself.
Okay.
What is your forte?
Okay. First of all, I would just say I love this question. All right. So I have before I begin, I'll just tell you a little about my experience. I started off writing as a news writer. Then
Mm,
I went into writing scripts because
mm,
primarily, like I said, before content writing, I used to write fiction and I used to write for screenplays like my professor guided. I
mm.
was too much into film studies. Yeah. So when I got into digital marketing and PR firms, I realized that there are more than one form of writing over the digital space. So I started off with writing the blogs, flamboyant blogs that are like that could be anything like selling a product, giving beauty tips, healthcare tips, etc. But then the work that I'm doing right now, it's highly technical. There is no room for opinion. There has to be like exact same amount of words, exact same amount of information crammed into those words. So now I can say that I am pretty much well versed in technical writing.
Mhm.
Yeah, flamboyant and normal writing, like like I said, normal blogs that are there. Feature articles I still struggle with, but I wouldn't put it past me to do it. I mean, I can do it. Feature articles, yeah.
Mm.
Then yeah, and I am great at writing dialogues and scripts, which will be no use of will be of no use to you, but I'm just
Exactly.
putting it out there. So yeah,
N-
that's that. And then I write blogs. They
Nikhil,
are
what's plagiarism? You're saying that you're into technical writing. That means you would be writing something which is having a lot of data back, a lot of referencing. Uh,
so
you
I
know,
get briefs
mm,
from the clients that are there. They send
mm,
us briefs.
mm.
So the brief is like every topic, every subheading, H2, H3 is segregated. There'll be links
Okay.
provided under. Yeah, there'll be word limit even put it there, like put there that how many words you have to deal with here, and they'll be telling you the tone, and then they'll be telling you, guiding you over the CTAs that what will be the call of the action. So it sounds like it's something easy, but it isn't, because they strictly want something, and you have to go over the links provided. You research, you read the whole thing, you make up your own mind and narrative, and how you're going to go about it.
Okay, Nikhil, how about if I don't give you anything? If I don't give you, like I said, an example that we are planning, it's an example. Okay, suppose FT University is planning to launch the School of Digital Marketing in full swing in the month of July, that is the 2022. And January is a month where we start marketing our product as in where we start, pushing this particular with the help of articles across the social media platforms. And I'll say that, Nikhil, I don't want to give you any sort of downloads. You just understand this is the school, these are courses which are going to be running, and you just prepare a article. Will you be able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you want to do that, you want to increase the amount of
Of
word
course,
and yeah, yeah, on your blogs. So I would go about it. I would just week by week, first I'll just prepare a calendar for it.
mm,
Week by week I'll go for topics. Like first week I'll go introduction to digital marketing and why you should approach it. And
mm,
in the first week there'll be certain numbers of blogs,
mm.
and those blogs topics will be decided on the fact that what is digital marketing, and uh, for the exact same combination of the keywords, how many keywords are appearing in the keyword tool. I would
Mm.
select them all, whichever them are relevant. I'll put them on the calendar. I'll start writing them.
Tell me one thing. You were the only one who said that it's quite popular thing. Digital marketing is becoming buzz these days, and people are after it. And you very, very nicely you explained that two category who are vouching for this these days, right? So, how will you make your article look appealing to them, and how will you justify that your article is good? Means, what are the characteristics of a good web content? to be more precisely, I'm asking about what are the characteristics that say that the web content is good.
Okay, so before answering this, I'll just say one line. I have never had any experience or any technical guidance in digital marketing, so I don't know the perfect way to answer this
You
question.
don't need
But
to. You don't need to. I'm just saying that's a
yeah, I'm just
scenario.
gonna answer this on my experience. All
Huh,
right.
okay.
So the first thing that I absolutely hate about any blog that I read over the internet is the dawdling and the stretching of the words. I
Mm,
want them to get to the point immediately. And
mm,
if it's enough, I want them to get to the point in the first section only. But
okay.
of course I can't do that. Of course I
Mm,
can't have that. So
mm,
that's why I would be reading more, just say up to third paragraph.
mm,
And if they're not getting to the point in that paragraph, I wouldn't take even a fraction of second before backing the whole thing.
mm,
So that is how I write my blogs.
okay.
I follow the inverted pyramid like quite strictly. I put
Mm,
it there like all the hooks in the first paragraph,
mm,
training thing in the second paragraph, and if I'm writing a blog, I wouldn't go for them only as well. I'd just simply put an intro paragraph which will be 2 to 3 lines long, and then I'll go for the pointers,
mm,
h2s, and under them there'll be subheadings, because it becomes like serving on a platter for the audience. But
okay.
since you asked about article would be like I would strictly follow the inverted pyramid
Huh.
scheme here. Yeah.
So what's this you actually brought me to another question by answering this question in this manner, that now you only tell me what is the line of demarcation between that thin line of demarcation between a blog and an article.
uh, okay. All right. So the article is going to be a complete packed information about one topic, right?
Okay.
Blog is not.
Okay.
Blog is simply going to be that very fraction and fraction of that thing, and it's
Mm,
going to tell you exactly that amount of information you need to know without any dawdling, without any extra information peppering all over the thing. It's just
mm,
going to tell you how to do this, how to get, it's like something that you're in a crisis, you want to get access to that content within seconds, and you have the blog for that. If you're researching something, you have the article for that.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, Nikhil, rate yourself on the scale of 10. Uh, that what I'm see, understand my question properly. Okay, it has nothing to do with your age or your experience. It is something that has no relationship with the age of the content writer, right? And the experience. I'm saying that rate on the scale of 10 about the maturity in the articles that you portray, you write, you develop, you put into the web medias. Rate on scale of 10 how matured your article can go, because it's altogether a big field where you're targeting plethora of people who are having most diverse mindset and looking from one article 100 different aspects. Because I'm reading an article on wellness, thinking because I'm feeling a little low depressed during pandemic, I'm looking at a wellness article because I feel that health is coming becoming a second priority, because all the time we are at home and working in front of the screen. So for me that article would be different. I am somebody who has recently understood during the pandemic that wellness is a factor where I can opt a professional degree and I can make a career. So these three people have different mindsets when they're looking at the article which only Nikhil Chaturvedi is writing on wellness,
Mm,
right? So what is the scale of maturity in your documents or your write-ups on the scale of 10? You can say that could target this diverse world who can come and hit your article, can increase the traffic, can give you a chance, stay back on your page for some time, would not just hit and come out of the article. Scale yourself on scale of 10.
yeah, I am thinking about that.
Mhm.
Just
Take your time, relax, take your time.
I would go for 7.
Good. I wanted you to be very realistic when you're talking on this, because if you would have told me something like 9.5 or something, I would have
Oh,
prolonged
no,
this
no, no.
interview. Right. Thank you so very much, Nikhil. It was a technical glitch. I couldn't see you because you're too
I'm so
expressive.
sorry for that. If we could
No, that's
connect over Google
perfectly
Meet.
fine. No, that's
Yeah.
perfectly fine, because we have different lineups after you as well. I just wanted, because you sound too expressive, so I just wanted to see and understand, the stability part, the a lot of things when what we can
Okay.
judge when you're looking at a person, right?
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
was great interacting with you. Soon we are going to be coming back with another set of conversation communication. HR would be contacting you further. Thank you so
okay.
much for your time. Thank you.
Sure, sure. Thank you, in fact. Thank you.